spiritual guru and mentor, Air. One of the biggest fears we have is the fear of failure. But we must remember this, that nobody ever achieved the destination without passing failure on the way. Unless you fail, you cannot succeed. How do you live in the now? Make a vow. Slam the door on yesterday. It's gone. Shut the door on tomorrow. It's not yet born. Facing your inner fears. Believe you me, Air, जब ये सब्जेक्ट मैंने चुना, लोगों के साथ साथ मैंने अपने लिए चुना. Okay. How does one identify कि उनके अंदर actual fears है? Because कभी कभार what happens is people stop themselves from doing new things. They'll always say, "Arey, if I do this, this will be the problem. That will be the problem." Doesn't matter, let it be, go. Let me be in the zone that I'm in. Which means they're letting go of new things, but little realizing there's that fear inside. Absolutely. Actually, the problem is people don't know the difference between fear and danger. People think that fear is danger, but fear is not danger. Fear is F-E-A-R, a false expectation appearing real. तो डर, ये डर आता है ना, ये सच नहीं है. For example, you're in a jungle and a tiger comes in front of you. That's not a fear, that's a danger. But a lady having a shower in the bathroom, she runs out of the bathroom because a lizard passed. Ah, bachao! अरे क्या तुम क्या रो रही है? This is just a lizard. So a fear is a false expectation appearing real. हम ये नहीं समझते हैं. The moment we start to accept it to be just fear, and then we do the things we fear, the fear will disappear. The challenge is that just jump into it. If you have the fear of swimming, if you keep on sitting outside the pool and put your leg and say, "Oh, how is the water there?" You will never learn swimming. You've got to put on the life vest or the rubber pipe and then jump into the water. And you will learn and you will overcome your fear. You know, I have to tell you this. So I learned how to swim when I was 7 years old. And I was just standing and looking at the swimming pool. Like swimming trunks on it, but I'm looking. And one of my mother's students, she was a teacher. And my mother was a teacher in Calcutta at that time. Her student, who was in class 10th or 11th, just came from behind and pushed me. And I screamed, "Amma!" And he was just standing, laughing at me. मैंने कहा मैं गया. And would you believe, in less than a minute, I swam a few feet and touched the edge of the swimming pool. So that is exactly what you're saying, which we should do with life, right? Absolutely. You know, fear of the unknown. Actually, the problem is we have this fear given to us as a gift. And you will wonder, how can fear be a gift? Every human being is given this emotion of fear to protect us from danger. But instead of using fear to protect us from a real danger, we have made fear a big limitation in our life. There's a beautiful story I want to tell you. There were many prisoners in front of a king. And the king said, "All you prisoners are now going to be shot dead." So, one by one, you go there and you will be shot. Go there and you'll be shot. But something very funny happened. There was a door. He was asking every prisoner, these were prisoners of the opposite side, "Do you want to be shot or you want to go out of the door?" And somebody asked him, "What's outside that door?" He said, "Unknown fears. It can be anything. This is just straight shot and dead. That I let you out of the door, then I don't know." All the prisoners said, "Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me." One prisoner said, "I'll take the door." He opened the door. And what was there?
Freedom.
Wow.
It was freedom. So this was the king's way. And then the king chose that prisoner of the opposite enemy and made him a general in his army, because he wanted to find strong people to be in his army. Sid, the problem with fear, we don't really have a problem. It is an imagination. We are creating fears. Our fears are many. Our dangers are few. Look back, just think. You had 100 fears, all of you. Just look, you had fear yesterday, you had this fear, that fear, so many fears. Did all your fears become real dangers? No. The fears, they disappear. So this is the learning. We should not just create fear. Fear should be that emotion to save us from danger. That's it, nothing more.
Sometimes you have the fear of the unknown, you have the fear of doing something because somewhere deep down you feel you can't do it.
Right?
You feel that, hey, I'm 15 years old, I'm 20 years old, I have never done this. So if I do it, it'll backfire, right? And then you stop doing that and you take the other path, saying, "Jhamele mein kyun phasna hai?"
This is called the fear of failure. One of the biggest fears we have is the fear of failure. But we must remember this, that nobody ever achieved the destination without passing failure on the way. Unless you fail, you cannot succeed. And if you have this fear of failure, you know what it does? It creates a paralysis. You become paralyzed. You can't move. No doubt you won't fail. No doubt you won't fail. But you'll never succeed. You will never ever succeed. So better fail and succeed. You know the word triumph?
Yes.
It's made of two words. Try, umph. If you don't try, then there can be no triumph. But you try, you may fail. Try and fail. It's okay.
In fact, sometimes when I've not done anything in my own life and I look back, I said, gosh, I should have done it. I should have done it. Like, for example, I've been offered a reality show, one of the toughest reality shows in the country ever, for the last 15 years, 3 times. And someone would say, "Arey, it's such a tough show." Not that I'm afraid of taking challenges. I believe taking on challenges head on. I love it. कोई कहता नहीं करो तो मैं पागल हूं, मैं कर देता हूं. अगर कोई कहता नहीं करोगे तो मैं करता हूं, मैं rebel हूं. But this is one show I avoided because I felt, what if it backfires?
But what about all those lost opportunities? We have so many opportunities that we lost because of fear. You know, they say, of all sad words in the world, of all sad words in the world are these. Of all sad words, the saddest are these. It might have been. Oh, it might have been. एक बूढ़ा है, 80 साल हो गया बूढ़ा को, अभी बोलता है, अरे यार, you know, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, I wish I had. You can't go back. Can you go back and do it? You can't. You do it now. You go beyond your fears. Only when you go beyond your fears can you reach your true potential.
Let's get into some fearful or fearless talks with the people in the audience.
Sure.
I have a lot of questions. Remember, all of you, we're going to be asking your questions which you asked on digital, my Instagram handle. So, who wants to tell me about their fears? And maybe air can help you out to face your fears. You want to put your hands up? The lady at the back. Ma'am, can you pass the mic there, please? I'm looking, yes, you got a mic? Yes, please. What's your name?
My name is Lillian. So my question is to Air. I've seen many people who are actually scared of black magic, evil spirits. So is this fear, is it just an illusion or is it real?
This is fear of ignorance. We believe in ghosts. We believe that there will be evil spirits. And then we believe in all the fairy tales. But these are lies. just like God lives in the skies. If you want to overcome these fears of evil spirits, of fate, of serendipity, of luck, you must get into realizing the truth. You must get into realizing the truth. Because when people are saying these evil spirits that you spoke about, or the black magic, what is black magic? What is magic itself? Magic is a science. It's not that you do something like this and a bird comes. No, it is a trick. You know that. And black magic is just playing with your mind. If somebody tells you, you're going to have an accident, you're going to have an accident, and you start thinking that they've put some black magic and you might have an accident, you will end up having an accident. Because you're going to program yourself and think, I'm going to have an accident. And then instead of you escaping the bus, you will hit the bus. The mind works. This is called manifestation. And manifestation is nothing but you creating the problem because of your own mind. Wipe out this black magic. Wipe out this evil spirit, because it does more harm to you than good.
Anybody else? The lady at the back. Sana, hi.
Hi, Air, I have a question for you. So, when we speak about fear, there are two ways it can happen. One, I have not tried it yet. So, I have the fear of trying it because I might fail, or maybe I might cause a damage to myself or anything. But another fear appears because of a past trauma. Maybe I went for a swim, I drowned. I cannot step into water again because I have the fear I might drown again. So, how do I free myself from the past trauma?
When we are afraid of something for the first time, we need to jump into it. When you're afraid, if you don't try, like I said, there cannot be triumph. So we have to have what you call courage or confidence or enthusiasm or faith to try. But if there's a fear of failure, this word fear itself, does it mean that you should be reckless? Does it mean that you should not take any care, you should not have any caution, you go to the top of a building and jump? No, you can't do it. You've got a buddhi, you've got an intellect, you discriminate. But sometimes, what you're talking of, people get a phobia. They get a phobia, sometimes you have a dentophobia. I don't want to go to the dentist because last time I went to the dentist, no.
I also, if I may add, I have a friend who was bitten by a dog. Till date, when he rides a cycle for fitness, if he sees there are dogs around the place, he doesn't ride in that lane.
And you know that a dog can sense fear. And the moment the dog senses fear, it will attack you. That is the instinct of a dog. The moment you're fearless, no dog will come close to you to attack you. Therefore, the dogs can feel this instinct. Let us be very clear that this phobia is something we have to take out of our life. There's a lady I know, she has a phobia of flying. So she always goes by train. Long distances. She goes by train, she goes by bus because she has a phobia. So this person who was having a dentophobia, she went to the dentist and she was sitting with the dentist and the dentist brought the drilling gun in front of her mouth. Dentist said, "Arey, Baba, shuru to karne do." And the dentist was getting close into her mouth and not yet started. But she started screaming, "Oh, oh, oh, oh." Dentist said, "I have not even started." She said, "Yes, doctor, but you're stamping my feet." So sometimes this phobia is very bad. If you don't go to the dentist, how are you going to take care of your teeth? If you don't learn swimming, how will you save yourself if you fall into a river? Therefore, kill your fears, otherwise your fears will kill you.
Wow. So are we going to kill our fears? Give me a yeah. There you go. So I'm going to get into one message from a gentleman from social media, and then I'm going to come back to you. This is Vipul Srivastava, and he's from Jodhpur, and he says, fear often arises from attachment, whether it's material possessions, relationships, or identities. How to remain detached from things and people while fulfilling our responsibilities.
Actually, we are all attached and we all fear. But whether it is people or possessions, one thing is sure, that nothing is ours. Nobody is ours. We come empty-handed, we go empty-handed. So if we want to really learn the art of overcoming this attachment, there was a guy. He was hanging up on the tree. And he was saying, "Bachao, bachao, bachao," from the top of the tree. And a guru was passing with his disciples. And the disciples said, "Guruji, Guruji, wo bol raha hai, bachao, bachao, bachao. How do we save him?" The Guruji said, "Let's go." Hey, Guruji, we have to be kind. Let's go. The Guruji made the disciples understand. Arey, he's saying bachao, bachao, but he's clinging to the tree, na? अगर बचाना है तो खुद छोड़ सकता है ना? So we are clinging. The problem is don't cling to anything. Because when you cling, then you bring fear. You bring fear of loss. But so the problem is not fear. The problem is clinging. That causes suffering.
How many of us have clung to things? Genuinely, I have. Yeah? Quite a few of us. All right, who else? What are your fears and how do you want to face them? Yes, ma'am, in the front row. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Vilma.
Hi,
So
Vilma.
whenever we have problems in life, so we turn to God. So my question is, can prayer really help us to come out of our fear?
Actually, prayer does not eliminate fear. Prayer does not eliminate fear, but prayer gives you strength. Therefore, prayer doesn't take away the load, but it gives you stronger shoulders to hold the load. Therefore, when you have prayer, you build faith. You know what is faith? F-A-I-T-H. It means full assurance in the heart. Prayer gives you hope, H-O-P-E, having only positive expectations. Prayer gives you trust, T-R-U-S-T, total reliance, unconditional surrender to the Almighty. Prayer creates enthusiasm. I'm so entho. Entho means entheo means in God. When you believe in God, have faith in God. Therefore, prayer is a good way to become stronger.
Wow. I do pray in the night before I sleep. And I find a lot of solace in that as well. Acha, aur koi hai who'd like to ask a question? Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. And my question is, how do we avoid stage fear? Stage fear. And while you are like having a conversation, the energy what we see there is like, even if you don't feel like you're interested in the topic, you make it so interesting. Right? So like guide us in something on that, like how do we move towards that? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
How do you overcome, he said, how do you overcome stage fear? So then, the best way to overcome stage fear, get onto the stage and think there is nobody. Just imagine there is nobody there. You're not afraid to sing in your bathroom, but you're afraid to sing in front of 100 people because you're looking at the 100 people. Look above them. Look beyond them. Why should you worry about them? Have self-confidence. Believe in yourself. And this will make you overcome. And remember this, stage fear is only there till you overcome it. It's just that one jump. If you remember all the things that you have feared, when you did it one time, I remember the story of Roger Bannister. Have you heard of Roger Bannister?
No, I haven't.
Roger Bannister was told to run a mile, I think in less than 4 minutes. And nobody in the world had done it. Nobody in the world had done it. And then he did it. First time in history. The moment he was able to run the mile in less than 4 minutes, within a matter of 2 weeks, 40 people did it. 40 people did it. That means it only shows that our limitations are in our head. Get it out before you are dead. then you can do it.
Love it. And since it's also talking about stage fear, correct me if I'm wrong, moment you asked that question, my ears were like up. Ye mera domain bhi hai. I believe that people in the audience are my best friends.
Beautiful.
And they will never let me fall. They will never let me lose, because best friends are like that, right?
Lovely.
So when I'm sitting in front of all of you, I genuinely feel you're my best friends. So if I make a mistake, whatever, you will never let me go wrong.
Beautiful.
I have faith in you, right? I'm loving these questions. Any other questions? Come on. Can I take the question at the back? Hi, ma'am. How are you? What's your name?
Hi, I'm Munnu. And ever since I've watched Final Destination, I have this constant fear of death. So, how do we overcome death? So, in that movie, we see the cruelest way people die. So, how do we overcome that fear of death, Air?
Actually, we have to realize what is death. You know, when somebody dies, what do you say? You say, he passed away, she passed away. Who passed away? When we realize the truth of death, one of the biggest fears in life is the fear of death. But how do you overcome the fear of death? It's realizing that I will never die. The body will die, but the body is not I. I am not this body that will die. This is what we must realize. You know Hindi? In Hindi they say, मौत की सच्चाई क्या है, हम कभी ना मरते हैं, हम तो इस शरीर से मुक्त होते हैं जब ये तन मरता है, हम तो अमर आत्मा है, आत्मा कभी ना मरती है, एहसास जब होता है हम तन मन्ना संसार से मुक्त होते हैं. मौत की सच्चाई क्या है? What is the reality of death? You will never die. You said you are Munnu. Munnu will die one day, but you will live and you will attain what is called liberation. You will be free from the body and the suffering of the body. So you must not make death a moment of desperation. Make it a moment of celebration.
Wow. एक और मैसेज है जिग्ना शाह फ्रॉम अहमदाबाद. कैसी है जिग्ना? केम छो? मजा छे? तो वो बोलती है, इफ आर इंट्यूशन tells us to stay away from something, we all have an intuition, instinct inside, should we believe it या फिर हमें वो डेंजर को फेस करना चाहिए?
You have to take that intuition and slot it. Is this intuition from my mind or is this intuition from my intellect? When the intuition is from the mind, it means there's a rascal that's creating a false fear in you. But if you are discriminating and this intuition is from your intellect, the intellect can tell you what is black, what is white, what is wrong, what is right. The intellect, that intuition from the intellect must be followed. That's in consciousness. But that intuition which is coming from the mind is frivolous. Must brush it aside. So take your intuition and evaluate. Is it thought-based or is it consciousness-based? Is it mind-based or intellect-based? Then move forward.
What a lovely question, Jigna. I'm telling you, you look, when they ask you a question, I feel it's my own question. Really, I'm telling you, just so.
We all face the same problem.
We all have the same problems. There were so many hands which were up. There's the lady in front. Hi, ma'am. What's your name?
Hi, Air. I'm Swati. Hi, Sid. I wanted to ask you, as an individual, we have so many expectations on us. It's not false. Like, so fear, as it also is false expectations appearing real. But the expectations that are on us are very much real. From the society, from our family, from the workplace, from ourselves also. So that induces so much fear of everything. Fear of doing well in life, fear of being successful, fear of even to fall down.
Yes.
How should we address all those things?
So where is the problem coming from? The problem that you are saying, you yourself are giving the problem and the solution. The problem that you are saying, there is fear. And you are saying this fear is coming from expectations. If you wipe out the expectations, then you wipe out the fear. So these expectations should not nail us down. We let expectations nail us down. We can make a choice. If we are wise, we will make the choice. Otherwise, we will let others' expectations nail us, and then we will be caught in this fear. We will be caught in trying to fulfill. How can I fulfill everybody's expectations? I can't. So don't try to do that. The problem is we are trying to do that. Sabko khush karo. Mummy ko bhi, papa ko bhi, bibi ko bhi, bachche ko bhi, neighbor ko bhi, kutte ko bhi. Then how do you fulfill everybody's expectation? You can't. You lose what is called peace and you become pieces. So what you need to do, cut the expectations. You will cut the fear. You choose what expectations you want to set for yourself. And don't let expectations pour like rain, and then it will push you down the drain and make you unhappy again and again and again.
Yeah, you can clap, it's okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question. Savitri Raghavan from Bengaluru only says, there are people troubled with the fear of rejection or judgment. They are always scared that they'll be judged for asking questions or their ideas will be rejected. How to find motivation in this situation? Actually, you don't use the word motivation, Savitri, because motivation is there must be a motive to create motivation. You need to create inspiration. Inspiration is that inner spiral of energy. So you don't say motivation because then you're waiting for something to motivate you. But how do you get that inspiration where you are able to overcome this fear? The inspiration comes inside of you. You have got to create that energy inside you. See, Sid, he has so much energy. Where does the energy come from? Is there a wire? Is there a plug? Is there a battery? No. We all have a reservoir of energy within us. When we use that energy within us, when we tap into that energy within us, then we are able to overcome this problem. It's all inside, huh?
It's all within you.
Now, they say that fears manifest faster than belief. Is that true?
Actually, what is true is negative forces are stronger than positive forces. So when you say the fear manifests faster than
Beliefs.
so faith can become a strong force if you eliminate fear. Otherwise, if you keep fear and faith, fear can be a winner. Because negative forces are very strong. Negative forces are controlled by the mind. The mind, thoughts, where do the thoughts come from? Thoughts seem to appear from every corner of our body, from our eyes, nose, ears, from our toes, from our head, from everywhere. Because the mind is producing 50 thoughts a minute. This can be 50,000 thoughts a day. If these 50,000 thoughts a day are creating fear, now compare this to that one thought that you have of faith. So the thought of faith is actually very strong. But the mind is drilling us and it's killing us with that fear. It's repeating, repetitive fear, repeating the problem. It keeps on drilling. Therefore, negativity of the mind seems to be stronger than positivity of our consciousness. But in reality, the moment we eliminate the mind, we still the mind, there is no drilling and killing of these thoughts, then faith can be much stronger than fear. In reality, it is. But we have to eliminate the mind.
So since I've been talking to air, I've also got airisms in me. FOF. Faith over fear. That's how you talk, right?
Amazing.
Airisms. My last question. दुनिया भर में हम लोग सुनते हैं, whichever city, state, country you're in, fear of the future. Future में क्या होगा? Future में क्या होगा? ये किया तो future में क्या हुआ? How do you battle fear of the future?
Actually, I'll divide this question into two parts.
Sure.
The first problem is that we have got fear of the future because we have not learned the art of living in the present moment. We have not realized, I'm asking you, can you go back to 2022?
Never.
I'll give you $100 million. Can you go to 2025?
No chance.
You can't. Nobody can. But somebody can. You know who? It's the mind. The mind takes you to a yesterday that is gone and a tomorrow not yet born. If you want to eliminate the fear of the future, you have to learn the art of living in the present moment. How do you live in the now? Make a vow. Slam the door on yesterday. It's gone. Shut the door on tomorrow. It's not yet born. We all say, tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow never comes. What we don't realize is there is no tomorrow. There is only today. There is only now. Today is the tomorrow you thought of yesterday. Today is the tomorrow you thought of yesterday, but there is no tomorrow. It's only today. So if you learn to live life moment by moment by moment, then there's no fear of the future. But one of the fear of future is the fear of death. And we all fear it. This is the biggest problem. We all fear death. Somebody asked that question earlier, but we must overcome this fear. Because ultimately the future, ultimately the biggest of fear is the fear of death. And how did I overcome this fear? I overcame this fear with this little song I wrote. I said, मैं नहीं मरता हूँ बस ये तन मरता है. मैं नहीं मरता हूँ बस ये तन मरता है. मुक्ति मैं पाता हूँ जब ये तन मरता है. रोना नहीं मेरे मौत पे, जश्न तुम मनाना. हो रोना नहीं मेरे मौत पे, जश्न तुम मनाना. Don't cry when I die, because I will become one with the power in the sky. When you have that feeling that death is liberation, death is celebration, then you realize that the body will die, but I will not die. And this gives you power to face the future, because you're able to face the ultimate future called death. अरे कल कुछ नहीं है. And always remember this. आगे भी जाने ना तू, पीछे भी जाने ना तू, जो भी है बस यही एक पल है.
Wow. You know, I have to tell you, Air, that I genuinely faced my inner fears today. Have all of you faced your fears? If yes, give me a victory wave. Come on, everybody. There you go. Are you ready to face your fears? Yes. There you go. Thank you so much. See you soon. Atman In Ravi. Bye. Siddharth breathes air. Do you breathe air?